This is Booker T, five-time WCW champion. You listen to WNS Podcast. Now, can you dig that, sucker?
You're listening to the official Wrestling News Source podcast. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com or find us on Facebook by searching WrestlingNewsSource.com or WNS Podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Daniel Herron, Tyler Abear, and Doug.
That's right. What's up, everyone? I am Daniel Herron.
I'm Doug.
And we welcome you to episode 115 of the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Check us out on Facebook, WrestlingNewsSource.com. You can find us on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNS Video, and on iTunes, Wrestling News Source Podcast.
And if you want to follow us on Twitter, it is at WNS Podcast, and for the main site, WN Source. And you can also tout at us at WNS Podcast.
That's right. Got a lot to talk about. You know, going to be talking about the road to WrestleMania as it continues.
Right.
Getting one step closer to WrestleMania.
What the hell? Hey, did y'all forget about me?
Hey, dude.
Hey,
we're glad you're okay. We're glad you're...
You said that the show was going to be tomorrow.
No, we're glad... No. We would never...
Came by the station.
A bit. How'd you get in?
I have a card key.
I specifically told them not to give you a key.
Well, they gave it to me. No, seriously, what the fuck are y'all doing?
This is awkward.
Doug, I'll let you.
We are so glad that you're okay after not hearing from you for a week. And
like I sent the text like, hey, man, I went to talk to the Undertaker and Kane, and everything's all right, you know?
Oh.
We're glad.
How'd that go?
It was really good.
Yeah?
You know, it was a sad time, but, you know, just want to tell them that the WNS podcast is for them. You know, we're there for them. You know, so it was all good.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, this is so awkward.
That's good. That's great.
Well, I'm Tyler Abear.
We're so happy you're here. Seriously, Doug, how did he get in?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. So welcome to the show, everyone. Got a lot to talk about. Happy that Abear is back.
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah, now I can get in the station anytime I want.
Ah, crap. So, So Tyler's back.
Hey.
They're
not too happy. They're not too
This
happy.
guy.
Like, oh, I want him to be gone so Ryan can come back.
What are you talking about?
No, you're our favorite.
You started the show. You're the one who's getting the calendar, remember?
Guess what? All in all, there's going to be 5 members of the WNS podcast.
Who's the 5th?
We need 2 people for as often as Uber misses.
Oh, okay, I see how it is.
We need 2 backups.
So Ryan's one. Who's the other?
Noah's the other guy.
Fuck
Noah.
Noah doesn't
Really?
know what the fuck he's talking about.
Noah.
I wouldn't go with Noah.
How about the hello, Sushan?
He lives in Houston. He's not going to drive all
That's
that
the
way.
only thing he'll say. Hello.
No.
I like how everyone that you suggest knows nothing about pro wrestling except for Ryan. Ryan's the only
guy.
Jay Wayne.
His work schedule is too busy. He's always working out.
I don't know. Who's the other guy?
You said 5.
Oh, hey, you know what? Listener feedback.
Hey!
I'm going to reel it in right here for you. So I know you thought you were going to just like skim right past listener feedback this week because we asked people last week.
There's a lot to talk about, obviously, so we need to just kind of dive right into that.
We did ask people.
The big news that's going on everyone's mind.
We specifically asked people to weigh in on people with 20/20 vision at least, to weigh in on
has nothing to do with
the color of Cena's shirt. Was it black and gold or was it blue and gold? And
blue was
a lot of people weighed in, and I just want to,
it was split.
There
were some people.
It was not split. There was one person who said it was black. That's not a split. Well, let's go through and we'll let everyone decide if it's a split or not.
Okay.
This is from Victor. Tyler, you forgot.
He's been gone for so long, he forgets.
Victor. I listened to the show last week.
Cool episode. Kewl.
Kewl.
Yeah. He said he's also a fan of hearing from Ryan. This guy likes everybody but the actual people on the show.
Victor, don't vote me out, please.
Victor likes everybody but the people on the show.
He likes Noah. He likes Noah. So.
He said he's also a fan of hearing from Ryan. He hopes Tyler's okay and doesn't run into any bear traps. As for the Cena shirt, he said the original is black and yellow and the new one is yellow and blue. But technically it doesn't count because Doug doesn't want to hear from people who have glasses, which is true. So
I do have glasses.
He did. Although
2/3 of the podcast crew currently wear glasses, although, Tyler's got his contacts in. However, so that's podcast rule, majority rule right there.
No.
We rule.
Or would you say it's a split?
You guys need at least one person who can see. So Victor is discredited because A, he has glasses, and B,
messed up.
He clearly hates me and he has a preference for you and he's just going along with what you say.
He didn't mention me once in that. He mentioned Ryan and Tyler.
No, but he prefers he prefers me least. He doesn't prefer me at all.
He knows that you don't prefer him.
I didn't have a problem with him until I realized he hated me. But,
he doesn't hate you. He's saying, well, he's not going to count it because I wear glasses.
Yeah, well, he doesn't.
You suck because you wear glasses.
Okay, so one vote for you.
Okay.
Black and gold. This is from Justin. He said the original is navy blue with yellow writing. His friend has one. He thought it was black on TV also at first, so don't feel too bad. But it is blue and yellow.
It's a misconception.
Stings Like Ali. He said Cena's new shirt is navy blue and yellow. Thank you, Stings Like Ali. Wife Swap says, as above, the old is navy blue and yellow. He said that the old shirt is navy blue material with yellow printing, and on the new shirt, it's reversed. He said that shop.com confirms the new shirt is the colors reversed from the previous.
That could easily be a typo.
And any 6-year-old could tell you it's navy blue, not black. Sorry, Danny, but Doug is right. Thank you, Wife Swap. Victor is biased. Victor is biased towards Daniel and is weighing in again. He said now he's got a defense that says 2 of his friends have the original shirt that they wear regularly. And he can guarantee they are black and yellow. But again, no glasses, no opinion.
Thank you, Victor.
He's biased.
At least someone's on my side on this one.
He's biased to you. I don't know why. I don't know what his beef with me is.
You hate people with glasses.
I don't hate them. I just know that they can't see, so their opinion of what something looks like or what color something is discredited.
Okay.
So you can go up to them and slap their glasses off their face. They can't see shit.
Come on, A-Bear. You've been off the week. Don't try to run the show now. Let me get through the feedback. Fred Robin says after a little bit of deliberation with himself, he's reached the conclusion that it is, drumroll,
kiss ass,
blue. Thank you, Red Robin. Drop It Low Son, 2012 Bound for Uli series winner. It says simply it's blue. That's all it says. It's blue. Thank you. Drop It
It's not blue. If anything, it's navy blue.
Well, he
but that could be a typo. I'm just saying.
Seth Rickson says, "Does it fucking matter?" WWE will put it out in the reverse color scheme soon enough, which doesn't make any sense because
that's the whole discussion is about.
Syphilis on the brain. Victor also posted again because our other thread about listener participation got overturned by talk of hand jobs.
Yeah, that was.
But
that was pretty dirty.
But
you guys are dirty.
So clearly, the majority has good eyesight, and they say it's blue and yellow.
Still a split.
Thank you. Thanks everybody for weighing in.
Thank you, Victor.
Victor is prejudiced.
You and me can hang out, and we'll go see different colors together.
I can't see shit, obviously.
Whoa.
Is that red? No, that's orange.
I did go to the website. I did check that out. It does say navy blue. However, at first glance, it does appear black. It's not enough blue.
I didn't seem to have a problem with it.
Okay.
To realize it. I didn't have to read it to know that it was blue.
Okay.
Yeah, and we don't have any iTunes reviews this week. So
iTunes.
We hope that next week some listeners who we haven't heard from will step it up with a review for us and some stars. We would appreciate that.
That'd be awesome. Leave us an iTunes review. A Wrestling News Source podcast on iTunes. Let us know what you think of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us how we're doing.
Tell it like it is. A-Bear.
Okay.
So, A-Bear, you should weigh in on this. Is it black or is it navy blue?
It's blue.
Okay. Kiss ass.
Good man.
Well, anyway, so welcome to the show. Got a lot to talk about. We're gonna dive off from our normal run. because I want to talk about the latest WWE Hall of Fame inductee, and that being the one and only Booker T, former guest on our show, Booker T.
Well, you did not put that to a podcast vote that we're going to go all out of order today. We specifically just had a podcast meeting, and you didn't say shit about it.
I didn't. So should we dive on into it?
You already brought it up.
Okay, so Booker T is going to be going into the WWE Hall of Fame. Very, very much deserved. Big congratulations to him. And I would like to throw this out there for being this week's listener feedback, because I don't like that we always dictate the listener feedback. Well, I'd like to throw it out there as a candidate. How about that?
Weigh in on anything you want.
Oh, obviously. But this would be a good topic to discuss.
Okay.
There are a lot of people who commented on the Wrestling News Source Facebook page that, some people seemed unhappy. Some people seemed like this is too soon for Booker T. And some people were even questioning as to why he's going into the Hall of Fame. And I don't agree with him at all. I think it is very much deserved. He's won several championships over his career. He's done it all: commentating, tag team, singles run, now general manager. I think he deserves this. What do you guys think?
I have no problem with it, to be honest with you. If they think that's questionable, there's a lot of people in the past, they're surprised that they've gone in there sooner than that.
Yeah.
I really have no problem with it, and I think it's pretty cool. And I think, I know I didn't read anything before, but it seemed like they kind of kept it a little hush-hush a little bit.
They did.
To me. I don't know. They might have posted something on another website, but all in all, I thought it was pretty good. I have no problem.
Yeah, they definitely kept it under wraps because no one leaked it to my knowledge. Not saying that it wasn't, but this one was definitely kept under wraps. And it was a shocking surprise. I was happy about it. I loved the video package that they put together. I loved that they even included the Hulk Hogan.
Oh man,
line.
That was funny. That was a funny part.
And they cut it out a little bit soon, but yeah, the people who are questioning as to why he even deserves it, it's just ridiculous to me because, I pulled up his his championship listings, and this is WCW and WWE alone. WCW heavyweight champion, United States champion, world tag team champions 10 times with Stevie Ray on that one. Television champ 6 times. He was the 8th Triple Crown champion. So he was obviously the 5-time WCW champion.
Five time.
Let's see.
I swear I thought it was 6.
He won the tag team championship with Test, so that makes him at least 11 times. 12 if you count it with Scott Steiner and TNA. He was the world heavyweight champion once, world tag team champion 3 times, Intercontinental champion once, United States champion 3 times, hardcore champion twice, King of the Ring in 2006, the 16th Triple Crown champion in WWE, the 10th Grand Slam champion, and now he's going to be going into the Hall of Fame. He was also in 2002 declared the most underrated wrestler of the year. So,
From where? From the Observer?
Yes.
Okay.
So, 1998 PWI most improved, 2000 most inspirational.
Don't put PWI is on kayfabe.
Okay.
Can't.
Okay.
That doesn't count.
All right. Well, so the listings are there for people who want to go and check it out. This is a guy who, they made it publicly known he had a troubled past. He overcame those obstacles, and became a success. So his story in itself is inspirational to say that, you can overcome anything as long as you put your mind to it. So yeah, I think it's very well deserved. I think the timing is, I'm okay with it. He's kind of been doing the part-time wrestling mixed with being the GM / commentator. So I don't have a problem with him going in this year. What about you guys?
Well, I don't like it. It definitely fits the mold for how they're doing the Hall of Fame these days. I will say that I don't feel that he's not deserving of it. I do maybe feel maybe it's too soon, but that's just but I'm a guy who was I don't want to say turned off because the WWE Hall of Fame, I realize, is it's exactly what they want it to be. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks and who should have went in at what time. So I don't want to say like I lost any sleeper over it or anything, but I'm a guy who was not in favor of guys like Edge going in like just when he retired.
Right.
Like I think there are lots of guys in the past who I would like to see get in who should already be in that I would like to see before we get some of the, and not that the Book's a new guy by any means or anything, but I feel like there are some guys that should be in before we are, working with current guys or guys who are still around and maybe not full time but haven't hung it up yet. That's not to say like no disrespect to Book. I know we have like very minor ties to him, and in the like we know a lot of we are acquaintances with a lot of guys who he's trained and have come out of his school, and he did us a huge solid by coming on our show, and I got all the respect in the world for him, and I have no problem with it. I don't think he's undeserving. I'm just not in favor of how quick they're willing to put guys in instead of let's get guys who should already be in.
Right.
If that makes sense. And again, like I don't mean any disrespect.
And obviously there are the core group of guys who, everyone thinks should go in this year, Macho Man, Owen Hart, even Paul Bearer for this one.
Well, I think Paul, I am of the opinion that Paul is too soon. Let his family grieve. There is next year for that or whenever, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. It's just, Doug, who would you like to see inducted in the Hall of Fame? Because you mentioned that there are some people ahead of him, so to speak.
I mean, well, you mentioned a couple yourself, and there are a lot, and I don't necessarily want to make it about like this guy is quote unquote like more deserving than Booker. I just
no, it's not necessarily.
I'm just saying like timeline sense, it makes sense to put in the guys who.
Like start with the guys in the 80s and then move on to the guys in the 90s.
Or, I mean, there are guys like who got their start before, like pre-80s. That
right. Well, yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, he definitely fits, like, what they're looking to do with the Hall of Fame, like, these days. It's like they have, like, one person who they claim is the quote-unquote, like, main event, like Hall of Fame guy. And then they are putting, people there. It's like a mix of, like, well, this guy should have been in, so he's like a guy who goes in, but then we've got like a more current guy who's at this whole. It's like they have this like, it's like
they have a timeline. They're like, okay,
it's not so much. It's not a timeline. It's more like it's like a puzzle. And they're like, this piece of the puzzle is the main event guy. Yeah. This piece of the puzzle is the old school guy who should have been in already. Yeah. Like, this is like the more current guy who's still, like that. They have like, it's like paint by numbers, like they have a spot for each guy.
This is the let's go back and review our history kind of guy.
Right.
This is our, okay, you might have been around for this guy. And then this guy is, okay.
He just retired.
He just retired not too long ago. And then this guy is, well, due to circumstances, he was forced to retire, so let's go ahead and put him in. Right. Or due to the circumstances, he's no longer with us, let's put him in.
Right.
And then let's throw in a diva, you know. So, I mean,
or a diva and or a celebrity.
Yeah, celebrity, tag team, faction, whatever. So
it's definitely paint by numbers. They have a formula for what they want to do, and he certainly fits the formula. Yeah. And I certainly feel that he's deserving. I'm just my minor quibble is with the time.
Okay, so you would have said, shoe in to get into the Hall of Fame, but just maybe
eventually.
Not this year.
Yes, okay. Of course.
All right. How about you, Tyler?
I said.
Yes.
No, I already said what I felt about it.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I still think it's very much deserves, obviously. Big congratulations to him. And
congrats, Booker.
Yes, definitely. Big congratulations on behalf of us. Who knows, maybe we can have him back on the show at a later date and we can talk about the Hall of Fame ceremony itself. But let's go ahead and dive on in to what happened on Raw. And kick things off with Cena coming out and cutting a little promo, and he's interrupted by the Primetime Players, or so we think. It's Darren Young, and Rufus Pancake Patterson.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought that stuff was hilarious. I know the crowd wasn't into it or whatever, but like, okay, since I missed last week or maybe it was SmackDown, did he do something with that character last week or time before? So it was just new. He randomly came out with it.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like the crowd was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they definitely seemed confused. They didn't know what was going on.
I thought it was funny.
You could hear a few of the people kind of getting into it and they were laughing and stuff, but man, I thought this was just hilarious. You know why they call me Pancake?
Because I flattens.
Just, I don't know what caused this, but...
Or what they're trying to get at, I don't understand. Because, as I understand, what does the primetime players have for WrestleMania?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They're going to be probably in the pre-show Rumble or whatever that they do. Or the YouTube match or whatever. But,
it was John Cena versus John Cena.
Yeah. So they came out and cut a promo on Cena, and Cena said, "Okay, well, if you're gonna talk all this madness, let's settle it in the ring." And sure enough, we have a match. And as soon as the match starts, we go to commercial, we'll come back, and the ref lets Cena know that we're back from commercial, and he hits his patented 5 moves, and the match is over. So not a whole lot to talk about that. But Doug, what did you think about the Pancake Patterson? Rufus Pancake Patterson. Sorry.
Well, first of all, I thought it was a pretty solid promo from Cena to kick off the show before he was interrupted. Of course, he didn't have much time, but I feel it's important. At least I feel it's important that I say when I feel like Cena's doing a pretty good job, because there are lots of people who are willing to shit on him for no reasons at all. Mm-hmm. I think it's completely fine to shit on the guy when you got a reason, but lots of times it's undeserving. And I feel like maybe I have to defend him.
You're a Cena apologist.
Apologist kind of implies that...
That's what you said 2 shows ago.
I mean, to an extent I am, but not all the time. Apologist seems like apologist is like, yeah, I know this guy sucks, but I take up for him anyway. And sometimes I probably am overly defensive about it, but just because I feel like he gets a bad rap. But solid stuff from him, like mic work wise anyway. I mean, I did get a chuckle out of it, but it was absurd for damn sure, and I don't know what they were planning on like doing with it.
It was strange.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have a problem with it. I thought I got a chuckle out of it, but
it was entertaining at least.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, what?
But yeah, so we didn't get to see very much of this match, and Cena, ends up getting the victory on that one. My question for this Raw, and I asked Tyler this too, is like, we're 4 weeks away from WrestleMania now, or 19 days, however many days it is. It was 20 on Monday, I know that. So my question is they have their main events, and they've had like zero build for a mid to up to lower card. For
18 days, I think.
Yeah.
I can't count this. Don't count.
1, 2, 7.
Yeah. And so, like, I was sitting there going, like, some of these matches, it's like, what's the point of having these matches? You're not building towards anything. It was just...
It seems weird, a lot of stuff. And y'all can point, or if I'm wrong, y'all tell me, but Antonio wasn't on Raw, huh?
Correct.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
Antonio wasn't.
So, I don't know. It's just, I feel like...
They just totally took the Miz from him.
Yeah.
Now Miz is against
Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
Well, allow me to, like, counterpoint your I don't feel like anything's building or...
Well, I mean, they started some of the build a little bit.
Right.
But, like, an hour and a half into the show, we're seeing R-Truth versus Sandow. And I was sitting there, I'm like, where are these two characters going when it pertains to WrestleMania?
I understand I understand that you probably mean that there should be somewhat of a sense of urgency to push story forward coming to Mania. But as far as why are these two guys wrestling, it doesn't make any sense. Well, like, that's what wrestling is. It's like it's like wrestling's like a workplace drama, right? It's like, it's kind of like The Office or like whatever, or like any other show that's set like a hospital show or like a fire department show.
Soap opera.
Yeah, well, no, that's not what I mean. It's just like it's a drama based around the job of the guys, and the job of a pro wrestler is to wrestle. So I'm completely fine with guys showing up. Sometimes guys are wrestling just because that's their job. They just wrestle guys some week because these guys wrestle for a living. They work for this company, and sometimes the company just says this guy fights this guy, and that's it. It's like a workplace drama. But because of the nature of pro wrestling, like there are reasons for things to get more dramatic, hence the drama part of the workplace drama.
Right.
These guys hate each other, and I'm perfectly fine with matches just happening because it's a pro wrestling show and matches happen on a pro wrestling show. So I mean, that would be my counter to that. I mean, obviously the more drama part of it is like, well, these guys hate each other, and so that dictates part of the show, and we focus on that because that's the drama part of it. But I'm perfectly fine with guys like this guy's just facing this guy just because that's his job this week. But like that's a very short term like story arc. That's like a week to week story arc. But long term story arc, it could be like, well, this guy hates this. Wrestler A hates wrestler B. They fucking hate each other, and they're always getting involved in each other's matches, and they'll do anything they can to fuck each other over. But some weeks, wrestler A just wrestles wrestler F just because that's his job. But as long as wrestler A and wrestler B do a good job of I'm saying a lot of shit. I know it's getting confusing.
We're gonna be sitting there going, my head,
and I'm stumbling over my words, and I apologize. But I'm hoping that I'm getting my point across.
A, B, and F.
Yeah, wrestler A and wrestler B, as long as long term, it's known that these guys hate each other and they're building to something in the end. But sometimes wrestler A just wrestles wrestler F, and wrestler B just wrestles wrestler G, just because that's their job. You know what I mean?
Where the fuck did G come from?
That's another guy. I mean,
no,
are you pretending? Like it's your job to be a pro wrestler. Sometimes you just show up and you just have a match because that's what you get paid to do.
It just seems like there's a lot for this WrestleMania season. There's a lot of matches being like, I wouldn't say thrown together, but a short amount of time they have now, just kind of thrown together. You know what I mean?
I understand if your point is we are a short period of time out from WrestleMania, and I want to see some urgency pushing storylines forward to that. I've got no problem with that. But if you're saying like, why is whoever wrestling wrestler whoever, like I'm saying wrestle way too fucking much. But why is Sandow and Truth wrestling each other? What the fuck does that matter? Because they're wrestlers and they work there, and that's just what happens. You know what I mean?
What I'm saying is, that thing's been going on for a little longer. But I meant like, I don't want to. I know we're about to get into Raw and all that stuff. I mean, we are in Raw. We are in Raw.
Yeah.
But I mean is like the stuff with Hell No and Ziggler and Biggie Langston. And, I might have missed something last week, but I mean, that was like, boom, that was thrown together this week or whatever for them to.
They don't have TV sets in Parts Unknown?
Parts Unknown. I tried to.
Death Valley?
I tried to watch TV, but the TV didn't work.
Oh.
It's like work.
Was it like you turned it on and there was like fire in the TV?
There was fire, then fuzz, and fire.
Hey, check it out. I'm throwing on TV, channel 666.
That's weird.
You'll stay far away from me.
But no.
So do you disagree with my... Oh, I'm sorry. I cut you off.
I understand what you're saying.
I'm not asking if you understand. I'm asking if you agree or disagree.
I don't know.
You're not fine with random wrestlers just wrestling because that's their job.
Okay.
Here's my
not everything is going to be like a storyline.
I know, and I know they're going to have, random wrestlers wrestle something else. I'm just saying that it just seems like they've only really. What if they really built up? Was it Brock Lesnar, Triple H?
Yeah.
Cena, Rock. What else? For the short period of time, they're doing what they can with Punk and Taker. What's the other ones? Is that it?
Those are the big ones, yeah.
Those are the big ones.
I feel like I tried to counterpoint a point that you made, and then you guys just, I'm like, well, do you agree or disagree? And y'all skate past it. But let me just say one more thing. Let me say this, and I'm not going to say, I'm going to use a different example so I won't have to say wrestling a whole bunch.
A and B.
I've never watched ER a day in my life. I know that it's a show about people who work in hospitals, okay? So sometimes, or a lot of the more interesting stuff on ER, I would assume, having not seen, but would assume is personal relationships between staff or so-and-so's boyfriend or so, all that really dramatic stuff. But sometimes they're just fucking doing hospital shit because they work in a hospital.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I understand if they've got like a big fucking surgery coming up that they need to be doing hospital shit. I understand if that's your point, but you know, sometimes does it make any fucking sense?
Yeah, but here's my take on it, okay? You know, Raw is a show that's designed to give you free matches. It shows the product. They use the pay-per-view to draw their money, aside from house shows and, you know, ticket sales and stuff like that. And merchandise.
In theory.
Well, yes. So their goal is to get you to say, I'm going to pay money to see these matches. You know, and when you are now inside 20 days and you have nothing going for your undercard guys, you know, you kind of need to give people a reason to tune in. Like, I understand, like, later in the year, whenever you have, you know, like Hell in a Cell, you want to throw in a couple impromptu matches, but this is WrestleMania. This is your Super Bowl, your World Series, your Daytona 500, you know, whatever giant sports event that you want to compare it to. This is the big one. You know, so you need to have your entire thing, your entire plan mapped out, knowing where these characters are going, where they're going to be. You know, like I'm totally fine with just seeing two wrestlers, you know, go at it, just to see how they compare. Because like, oh, this one's a flashier guy, and this one uses his mind. You know, he's witty and stuff like that. You know, I'm fine with that, but not when you're trying to build towards the biggest event of your year to try and get people to buy into it. It has nothing to do with Damian Sandow, has nothing to do with R-Truth. It's the fact that they're not building towards something. They're just kind of, okay, they had like, you know, a little scuffle a couple of weeks ago, so now they're having their matchup. You know, that's fine. But my mission is, or my goal would be to get you to say, I want to see the, you know, insert two wrestlers. I want to see these two go at it, because that's where they're building towards, as opposed to R-Truth and Damian Sandow, where it was kind of just, you know, I'll take the count out and walk away. You know, you've got a United States champion who wasn't on Raw. You've got a Intercontinental champion who now apparently has no opponent because he defended his championship. So, you know, he doesn't have to defend his title, given the, let's defend it every 30 days.
Well, Mania would be a new month.
Well, yeah. Well, you know, if you went 30 days, we're in 20 days now.
They didn't specify exactly how it's written in the contract.
Especially since The Rock is kind of taking a 2-month, you know, hiatus from a match.
You don't know the language of that contract.
Yeah, I
it could be no. The 30 days could start at the
Comic Sans or something. But
I did have the caveat to my counterpoint was, I understand if your point is they're not pushing these. I would rather see them pushing stories toward Mania than having random matches. That was my caveat to my counterpoint.
Okay.
So I'm saying I understood that.
So, like, you know, you see Mark Henry and you see Ryback, and they, you know, all they do is they cross paths. You know, and you're like, oh, that seems like something I'd want to see. And so then the next week they cross paths again, and then they have a match after each other, and so now they're kind of getting involved with one another, and you know, then they start trying to one up one another. You know, so it's slowly, but it's building towards something.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that match in with Ziggler and Del Rio.
Yeah,
other matches too. Yeah.
And so you know, they build towards it. So it's like one of those matches you want to see because you're like, who's the stronger man? You know, obviously.
Mark Henry is obviously strong.
Yes, obviously. But, you know, you're curious as to how the match is going to play out. So, you know, they're going to have it at Mania. And so that's going to say, well, I'd pay money to see that, you know, instead of, let's just have a throwaway match on SmackDown.
My only other counterpoint to the points that you made would be, even if they showcased every match that they have announced for Mania, or that they're even hinting at having on Mania, you still don't have 3 hours worth of content, so you're gonna have a throwaway match or two.
And that's okay, you know, like, you know, but this is also another thing. Where have the Divas matches been? Are they even taking place on SmackDown? Because I haven't caught it.
They're trying to. Yes and no. They're trying to bribe all those Divas back because they don't want to do anything with the.
They just want to have like a little Divas Battle Royal. All the Divas, all 6 of them, or something. However many there are right now.
To come back.
Yeah. You could have some sort of build for that. You could say, this is the worst time in Divas history because we have, a champion and they aren't even having matches to determine who's the number 1 contender, although they haven't really done that in the past. But, and you've got a United States champion who's on reserve. So, hell, put the United States champion against the Intercontinental champion. I don't care. I know
I wouldn't do that.
I know heel versus heel wouldn't be a good concept, but
and also not a fan of putting 2 guys with each other who need to look strong.
Yeah,
you couldn't do a satisfying finish, which you were just saying. You were a little peeved about saying not just taking a count out. Well, if you do champ versus champ, you got to.
I'm okay
strong.
with that, but if you're trying to build towards your biggest event of the year, that match can take place any other time.
Well, in their defense, like they haven't announced a Cesaro match for Mania.
Yeah.
And since he's been done with The Miz, they haven't really hinted at what was next for him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, do you really think they're going to have a really intriguing angle in store for Cesaro, or do you think they're just going to put him with someone they think
they're going to put him with somebody? I would think.
I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. I'm just saying, I don't know.
But see, that's my problem. You don't want to just put these matches together. You want to have a reason for these people to say, I'm going to tune in to watch this. Granted, there are a couple matches that they throw together last minute and they put a nice little video package together.
It would be pretty awesome if they had something really for those champions.
Yeah. So
at least those champions.
It's kind of like a Night of Champions. I've always been confused with that, where they have every single title defended on the pay-per-view. Well, shouldn't that be like WrestleMania? Shouldn't that be the night where all the titles are defended because that's the big night? Or I don't know.
WrestleMania is more about the entertainment aspect with
bigger pyro and Brodus Clay's mama dancing with the Bridge Club.
Take it to the bridge.
Take it to the bridge.
I mean, since its inception, though, WrestleMania has always...
The stars are out tonight.
Yeah, it's always been a little bit more about the entertainment aspect of it.
Yeah, and that's fine. But, just a few little...
I know what the match is going to be at WrestleMania. It's going to be Daniel versus Antonio Cesaro.
Hey, that's fine. I'll take the WrestleMania check.
You're going to take the loss.
Hey, I am totally fine with that. That's okay with me. So, if I get that check, man, I'd be happy with that. So going back on into Raw, I know we got way off topic on that one, but we got to see Ryback going up against Otunga. Ryback, makes quick work of Otunga. Then Mark Henry comes out and he is stopped by Teddy Long and Vicky Guerrero, and Vicky announces that she is taking Ryback off of the 6-man tag match and putting him in a match against Mark Henry for Mania. So that has been announced. So I'm actually getting kind of excited to see this match. I just want to see how they work out for it, because they're both the hard hitting, but Ryback, I want to say, works a little faster rate than Mark Henry, where Henry has his own pace. So I'm kind of curious as to see how they do that, and if Ryback would even attempt to get Mark Henry up for the shell shock. You don't think he'd even attempt it?
Unless he does, he'll attempt it, but he wouldn't walk around. I don't think he would.
Don't think he can do it?
He could probably pick him up and fall back.
Yeah. What about you, Doug?
Or is that two?
I mean, Mark Henry doesn't weigh over 500 pounds.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to bet that Ryback...
It's just the size of the guy.
I know. I'm willing to bet that Ryback can squat way over 500 pounds.
Well, yeah.
I'm
sure he could.
I think he can get it up. I mean, I don't think Henry's going to, sandbag him or anything.
Yeah.
But if he did, that'd be
Well, didn't Ryback have trouble?
He had trouble with
Tensai.
Tensai. Yeah, and Tensai was like 350, 75, something like that. I don't know. Maybe 400. But it's just the fact that, Henry is just so thick.
Yeah.
He's just a bulk of mass.
It's a hoss.
Yeah, he is. And so we'll have to see how that all plays out. Next up, we almost got to see the debut of Fandango.
I noticed.
Go.
I don't know if you noticed. This is probably stupid, but whenever they replayed his commercial, or whatever, or his little,
he did say his name.
He said
differently. Yeah, it was like Fandango. So,
and it said next week. Then he came out right after that.
So, but I do like the fact that that they are adding more to his entrance. Like the first week he came out and he just, his dancer did the little dance or whatever. Then the second week they added the wooden floors at the bottom, for him to dance on. And now he's got the wooden floors and the giant streamer curtain and the silhouette pyro or whatever that he, gets into the ring to. Just for him to walk away. So like I go back and forth with Fandango. A couple weeks ago. Sorry.
Who?
Fandango. Better?
I know who you're talking about.
Close enough. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
I got confused, but I think we know what you're talking about.
Like, who are you talking about? Who is this guy? But yeah, like I go back and forth. Like sometimes I think it's ridiculous, and other times I think it's hilarious. So what do you guys think about the almost debut that we almost had? He tried to get Natalia to say his name, and she ended up, telling Kali to sick him.
I don't remember too much about Johnny Curtis when he was in NXT or whatever, but I'm like kind of digging his character. I know a lot of people probably think he's annoying and stuff. I guess the way he carries himself and does all that stuff, and there's something I like. I don't know what though.
Yeah. Okay. How about you, Doug?
I don't think I've seen enough to make a judgment call. I don't have any problems necessarily with what's going on. The refusing to debut stuff is built in for heat on purpose. Mm-hmm. So if you don't like it, you're not supposed to. Other than that, we haven't seen enough.
Yep. Show us more, Mr.
I spelled that like Cena, not like Cena. Like they always make the signs that said "we Cena enough."
Yeah.
So in my mind, I said, "We haven't seen enough."
Did you see that sign that says "pee in her butt"?
What?
There was a sign on Raw.
This is P.
Someone in the front
butt.
row is the letter P, then a period, and then in her butt.
In the front row it says "pee in her butt."
Pee in her butt.
Why do y'all tell me now?
We posted on the page. It said, "Does anyone see this? We're so childish for laughing."
I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah. Said
It would like go up and then like this went down. I don't know how they got that in
It's
there.
like every time they'd put it up, they'd cut to a different angle.
Yeah. Pee in her butt.
Pee in her butt.
Why didn't they just take it away? They were taking away signs when we were at Raw.
Unless they had two signs or something, or where they folded where they didn't see that sign. I don't know.
They did what I probably should have done at Raw, and that's bring a Sharpie in and just color on the back or something.
Yeah, there you go.
So
I have it recorded. I'll have to go back and look at it.
Yeah, definitely. But it says there it's just a big white, piece of paper, and it says P in her butt.
Like P period.
Just the letter P period, and then in her butt.
Spelled as one word, or
no?
Did they try to make it look
butt, or
it was just wrote out plain? Yeah. Like okay, I didn't know if they were trying to be clever, and then when you put it all together, okay.
It's P in her butt.
We're little kids.
They were kids?
No, we were little.
We are kids.
We are kids.
We're childish.
It would be more awesome if it was little kids that made the P in her butt.
But no, it was the people who were sitting like dead center of the ring, and it was
perfect.
We're so childish. Who cares? So Kali versus Fandango does not happen.
Who?
Fandango.
Oh, okay. I got you confused.
Next up, we got to see R-Truth going up against Damian Sandow. Sandow takes the count out. Backstage, Cody Rhodes was chatting it up with the Bella twins, and Caitlyn basically saying, "Oh, ladies, you can have his mustache."
They were supposed to do something or whatever.
They're supposed to hang out.
Yeah, they were going to hang out.
Did I miss something last week that they did something together?
They have been showing backstage like little shots of backstage of them being kind of flirty, and she told him she liked his mustache when everybody was shitting on it.
Yeah.
And they've showed some flirtation until Sandow showed up with the re-debuting Bellas, and they kind of showed tension ever since.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's like I know they want the girls to be all over him. But I'm gonna be honest with you, with the mustache, he looks like a pedophile.
Okay. Pedo-stash.
Hey, I know with my mustache, I look like a porn star, so it's gone right now.
It is gone.
I don't want to be a porn star right
You
now.
look so young.
Why don't you want to be a porn star?
I don't want to be a porn star right now.
Right now.
Maybe later.
Maybe when the mood suits him. When the mood penetrates you.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Pee in her butt.
Pee in her butt. So next up, we got to see Team Hell No going up against Epico and Primo. Hell No end up getting the victory on this one, working as a cohesive unit for this matchup. Anything to really take away from it?
Solid match. Like AJ came out and did her skip around the ring.
That's
thing,
right. She did.
But it didn't cost them the match or anything, so I didn't really understand the point.
She kind of stopped and was like, "Wait, they're not paying attention to me. You guys are
Well,
jerks."
they did. They acknowledged that she was doing it, but
Yeah.
they were like, "Oh, we're just going to continue winning our match."
Yeah.
That was weird.
So, and Tyler, you did say something interesting.
What did I say?
You mentioned when was the last time Epico and Primo won a match?
Oh yeah.
It's been a while. They don't win too often on TV, so you know. But next up, we got to see Alberto Del Rio going up against Cody Rhodes, and this one ended by submission with Del Rio getting the arm breaker on or armbar on Cody Rhodes. So you know, just a quick little match, but this one led up to.
It wasn't really quick.
Well, you know, it was.
I think it was 2 commercial break match.
Oh.
Wasn't it? I want to say they had 2.
One for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know about 2.
Yeah, I think so. You may be right.
I don't know. I was really, 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 really disappointed in this match. I'm really disappointed in Alberto Del Rio because, at least in my opinion, in the past, he's always showed, again, in my opinion, like great attention to detail.
Mm-hmm.
They were running with the worked injury from SmackDown where
his knee.
Swagger chopped his, or was it main event or SmackDown? I can't remember now.
Main event.
Yeah, main event. He got chop blocked, and he was wearing the old
Knee brace.
whatever, a bigger knee brace under his knee pads or whatever. But he didn't. They braced his kick leg, and every kick he threw, he kicked with that. He kicked with the leg that was hurt. It was like, and I was real disappointed because he's always been so good with the small things. But he kicked with it. He didn't show any. He wasn't like timid on it at all. He was just like wrestling a match with a knee brace on and
Fighting through the pain.
yeah. Well, see, I can buy that your knee is hurt, but it's not hurt bad enough
Where you wince or something.
No, I think you should. Or if you're gonna do the worked injury angle, you have to acknowledge it in the match. Like I can buy that it's hurt bad enough that you need to wear a brace and it's bothering you, and you don't necessarily have to limp the whole damn match or never use it. But when you do use it, or you be a little timid on it, show it's a little tender. It's not totally making you incapable of wrestling, but show some favor to it or something,
Right.
which he didn't at all until he did I blew my knee out on the outside spot. That's when they acknowledged it. And then Cody as a heel didn't exploit the knee brace at all. He didn't work the leg at all. He picked the leg to work, and he worked the opposite leg of the injured leg. And I was just like, there's nothing right about this match on either side. So I was super disappointed. And I'm a big Del Rio fan, and it kills me to talk shit on the guy, but come on, man. You got to do a little bit better than that.
Give him an off night. We'll say it was just a bad night.
Yeah,
for
I
him.
mean, you don't have to. Again, you don't have to act like you got blown in the leg with a shotgun, but like, but if you're gonna wear the brace and you're gonna play injury into the story, show a little favor to it, make it a little tender. Don't kick like a solid fucking kick like you do every other time with it. Every time you kick, I had a lot of problems with this match. I was not into it.
Okay. But Del Rio does end up getting the victory. After the match, Jack Swagger comes out and attacks. And I love this because, you know, I felt like the Swagger Del Rio angle kind of fell off for a little bit. Like they haven't really, I don't know. It felt like something there was missing for me. And Swagger came in and just demolished Del Rio, demolished Ricardo, and ends up, you know, breaking Ricardo's ankle to make it a little more personal.
That really good.
Yeah. Ricardo sold it really well, and you know Lawler was trying to emphasize the moment when it broke, and you know, he was just like, oh, just look up right here on the third one. Third one's where it ends up getting bad. So, you know, but I feel like this kind of added some fuel to this feud a little bit.
Yeah, all the post-match stuff was well done. All the guys involved. Swagger was good. Del Rio was good.
Even Zeb.
Even Ricardo and Zeb were good. No problem whatsoever. But I was so taken out of it from the match prior. So. Okay. Hey, man, I know that the Taker Punk promo happened before this. Did we miss that? Did we miss that?
It did.
Altogether?
I forgot to put that on there. But yeah, because they showed that a few times. That was the one that started the second hour.
Okay.
Where Taker comes out and is like, listen, man, I'm giving you one chance. You get one chance.
Give me my fucking urn.
Give me that urn. And I'll promise I won't completely destroy you. So
A-Bear was not able to calm him down.
You were not.
I tried.
He seemed even more agitated.
What did you seem pissed off?
Well, he shook my hand, but I mean, maybe he got mad after I left. I don't know.
Did he steal your soul through your hand, like Shang Tsung style? Like,
I felt something missing after I walked away. I don't know what it was.
Felt a little hollow.
And only one man
I'm
can
not the person
fill
I used
that
to be.
void.
Yeah, but Punk was great in this. I love the tossing the urn around like it was a ball.
I really thought the thing was gonna come. The lid was gonna come off.
Yeah.
I like the fact that
Oh shit!
yeah, well, he did say that, and you know, they
Again,
edited
no
it out a
disrespect.
little bit. But what cracked me up is that that night someone posted a video of him juggling the urn, and they added the Harlem Globetrotters theme to it.
Oh, nice. He even did the like bounce it off your arm thing. And,
That's whenever he messed up. He was like, oh shit.
no, he did it a couple times before he did those shit ones.
Yeah. But no disrespect, man.
He even did that when he was doing his impression. He was doing the opening and closing the lid.
Sorry, I've never been able to hit those high notes.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good stuff.
Yeah. So
Sorry, I just wanted to acknowledge it.
No, I'm glad that you mentioned it, because I don't know how I missed that, but yeah. So
probably because you can't see, you can't tell colors.
You can't.
So moving on, we got. No, I can tell when that happens. But anyways, next up we got to see Sheamus and Orton going up against Heath Slater.
Okay, Victor loves you.
That's right, he does. And Drew McIntyre.
He does.
Yeah, he does. Victor.
Punchy.
So yeah, we got to see Sheamus and Orton end up defeating Heath Slater and Drew McIntyre. After the matchup, the Shield comes down through the audience, and Big Show ends up coming into the ring to stand with Sheamus and Orton, and the Shield decide to take their leave.
Shield of Justice.
So, and afterwards, you know, Big Show kind of gives Randy Orton and Sheamus a look, sort of like, you know, I'm up for consideration if you need me.
Yep.
WrestleMania, woo!
Yeah, this went exactly like a Sheamus and Randy Orton versus 3 MB match. Exactly how you would have expected it to go. Pro kick. No, but it went exactly how you thought it would have went. I kind of like Show, like kind of like having to prove himself because, okay, they lost the partner they thought they were going to have, but they're still not. They've done a pretty good job with like. Not just saying, okay, Show's a babyface now, because they didn't come out for the save whenever he was getting his ass kicked, and they didn't pick him just immediately. And this was kind of him like trying to prove himself, like, hey, I can team with you guys. Like, I'm okay.
You guys can let me in.
Yeah. So I felt like
I want to be a super best friend.
Right. And yeah, I felt like they've done a better than they normally would job of just not just saying, oh, hey, we flipped the switch and now he's a good guy.
Yeah. It felt like that a little bit, because like once he ran into it, you know, fans were cheering for him, and
This is funny.
But this is after a couple of weeks of them playing it out.
You know, it's funny. It's like after he left, they're both looking at each other like, should we pick him or whatever? I'm like waiting for like Randy's like, just RKO freaking Sheamus. I don't need these guys. They can take on the Shield.
You're talking way too fast for Orton.
Okay.
And you did it in the Victor voice, I think.
Did I really?
I don't know.
I don't need
Did
these.
I, Victor? Did I?
It'd be fucking awesome if like next week they're like, okay, we pick our truth or something like crazy like that.
hockey pads. Anyways, next up we got to see Dolph Ziggler go up against Kofi Kingston. I don't know what's happened to Kofi Kingston, but he's completely fallen off the wheel for this year. I don't think he's won very many matches. Yeah, but Ziggler looked good, and with the help of AJ and Big E Langston, Ziggler was able to pick up the win. And after the match, Big E Langston delivered his finisher to Kofi Kingston. And Team Hell No came out and basically said, "Look, man, we've seen what you can do out of the ring. Let's see what you can do in the ring because because of AJ, because of y'all, we've actually gelled together as a team." So,
what do you think they're trying to get at with, like, I know they're putting them as a tag team, but when they said they want them as a tag team and, like, Dolph was like, no, he don't want that, whatever.
Well, he wants his WrestleMania moment.
Oh, okay, because he wants to cash in. Okay.
Yeah. And so AJ basically grabs the mic and says, we accept only on the condition that you put the tag team championship on the line at WrestleMania.
She's like, I got Harley Quinn pants on.
Harley Quinn pants. And so Team Hell No agreed to it by chanting, yes, 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 yes.
They had to think about it for a minute.
Yes. Only for a minute. Only briefly. Only slightly. So what did you think about this segment?
It was fine, I guess.
Okay. Tyler?
I don't have a lot to say about it.
Cool. Next up was the main event of the evening, in which saw Wade Barrett going up against The Miz and Chris Jericho in a triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship. Solid match, and I enjoyed it. I liked the ending. I was happy with the result, with Wade Barrett retaining over The Miz and Jericho. But what did you guys think about the matchup?
I saw a lot. I'm glad you said it was a solid match, because I saw a lot of high praise elsewhere on the internet for it, and I didn't get it. Like, I was like, okay, it was.
I didn't feel like it was great.
Yeah,
it was a good match.
I was like, it was totally fine. It was good. It was solid. Totally fine. But I didn't get all the high praise that I saw elsewhere. Maybe it was because maybe people just thought it was the best match on the show, which I mean, I don't necessarily have a problem with copying to that, but I felt like the match was good because Chris Jericho was totally fucking awesome, and it really felt like he could have been that fucking awesome with just about any other two guys on the roster. It didn't feel like Miz contributed a lot to that match. It didn't feel like Barrett contributed a lot to that match.
Yeah.
It felt like Jericho was being awesome with just about any other two guys could have had the same match.
It was raw as Jericho.
Yeah, and I don't want to come off like that guy who's like a lot of, I hate even saying internet wrestling community. I don't even fucking say that, but a lot of dudes on the internet, I don't want to come off like one of those guys who's just well, duh, it's Jericho. He's Jericho's fucking awesome. Well, no, he was really good in the match, and he probably could have done that with any other fucking guys on the card. Doesn't matter.
He knows how to work.
I wanted him to win.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe they'll build something for him and Barrett. But what did you think about the segment backstage between Jericho and Fandango?
I thought it was real cheesy. I don't pop for Jericho's cheesy face humor. I don't pop for many guys' cheesy face humor, but yeah, I just thought it was real cheesy, and I rolled my eyes a bunch.
Okay. How about you, Tyler?
Same old, his cheesy stuff.
Okay. So going on from there, we got to see the contract signing between Triple H and Brock Lesnar.
It's totally fine for babyfaces to not be funny. You don't have to be funny, guys.
Yeah. You don't have to be.
That's the norm these days.
So Troll striking again. But yeah, we did get to see the contract signing for the Triple H and Lesnar match for Mania.
Triple H.
And Paul Heyman came out and was basically telling Triple H, that before I tell you the stipulations for the match, I'm going to tell you the ones that we decided not to go with, and some of them pretty dastardly, I would say. What are you doing?
I thought you were stalling because you couldn't remember, and I was signaling blindfold because that came first.
Yeah, they were blindfolded, and then there was handcuffed, and then it was, hey, let's put Stephanie on the line, and
but it would make more sense for the loser to get it.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty funny, at least. Heyman did a really good job on the mic.
Shocker, I know, right? Surprise, Heyman was fucking awesome in a segment, right?
Shocker of the year, Heyman was good on a promo.
Oh, God.
Never saw it coming.
Never.
So, but anyways, the security that Heyman hired, they look a lot like some indie wrestlers, I would guess. Anyways, so...
You're so cynical. Those were security guards.
Oh, I'm sorry. They were just muscular dudes who know how to take a
Get
bump.
your head out of the gutter.
They know how to be thrown out of the ring. And one guy knows how to just duck out of the way. So anyways, you know, Triple H beats up the security guards, beats up Paul Heyman, signs the contract, which I agree with you, Doug. I think he should have signed it in Paul Heyman's blood. Although it's not very PG, but I think that would have just...
No, I just thought it would have been total... And not only did I say, like, it would have been cooler if he had, like, dipped the pen in it and had the blood on...
Ink poisoning.
I actually thought that's what he was going to do.
Yeah.
Just watching that, I was like... Because he puts it on it... He lays the contract on his chest, and he kind of, like, fumbles for the pin near his head, and I was like, oh, he's gonna dip the pin in his blood. I was like, that's kind of fucking awesome.
like, it's unscripted, but hey, man, let's do it.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Heyman, I thought, because I watched it back, like, because I had it recorded, and I watched it back again, and it looked like Heyman bladed for it. He, like, did, like, a head swipe thing when he bumped on the table, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. There's Heyman. Yeah.
Taking one for the team.
Yeah, and I felt like, you know, after everything was said and done, and, like, Heyman powdered out and, like, went up there after calling for Brock and all that, and he went back up, and Brock started to come out. A lot of people, I heard a lot of shit about, like, Heyman, people saying Heyman no-sold the beating from Triple H. I was like, I didn't feel like he no-sold it at all. He was like, hey, I'm not a tough guy, but the beating was worth it, because now we got your ass, where we want you. So I thought he was awesome, and he even looked rough the fuck up with his hair down and stuff.
His hair down, his shirts were all torn up.
It's possible he just looks rough because he's an old dude. Yeah, but I thought he was like exactly what you want out of him. He gives those, like, his promos are like the basic promos that wouldn't come off as well from anybody else.
Yeah.
He just knows.
It's his delivery.
Yeah, I don't know.
He knows.
Well, not always his delivery. He knows it's basic, but he knows exactly the basic thing to say that is always works. I thought it was great, good stuff.
But it ends up it's going to be a no holds barred match announced for Lesnar and Triple H, and the extra stipulation is that if Triple H loses, he must retire. And, of course, as soon as that stipulation was thrown out, the memes started coming up, comes out of retirement for a retirement match.
Well, it wasn't, you don't know the language of that contract. It wasn't specified. It may be his whole career. He may be gone from Titan Towers as well. They could want his COO job.
And his soul.
It would be a Monday Night Raw starring Brock Lesnar all over again.
Well, we'd come full circle, wouldn't we?
I guess so.
It does add some intrigue to the match, though, because you feel like, Trips he's got to get his win back. He's getting his win back, but then you're like, well, why I have this stipulation, But it adds that intrigue.
It does.
It wasn't there before.
And that was something I did want to talk to you guys about
Stephanie. Or whoever loses gets Stephanie.
Yeah. So, I did want to talk about that because it does add that sense of question into it, because you're sitting there and like we've been saying for weeks before Monday night, it's like, Triple H is going to come back, he's going to get his win, just nonchalant, and now it's like, could this be a retirement? Could this be his farewell?
Nope.
Because obviously Lesnar has signed on for to stick around for a while, so it leaves you to question what's gonna happen now. Which I like. I like not knowing these things, because you sit there for certain, and now you're like, well, wait a minute. So
even if we come around to the same conclusion again, at least it like threw us off for a bit.
Yeah.
At least it made you question what you thought was going to happen.
Yeah. So we'll have to see where it goes from there. But all in all, not too bad of a Raw. But we'll have to see where they build up from there. Going into WrestleMania. Just got one hot topic for you guys. Apparently, CM Punk has been removed from all house shows because, it appeared that in his match against Kane last week that he injured, I think, either his arm or his hand or something. But, they never disclosed the severity of the injury. But if they're taking him off all house shows, it kind of makes you wonder, they're obviously going to protect him. He didn't wrestle this week, and he was just in a video promo. So it kind of makes you wonder what's going to happen, or, how injured is he?
He's a gamer. He'll be there no matter what.
Well, I know he will, but it makes you wonder, like, how banged up he is right now. So, I don't know. We'll just have to see where it plays out. But now it's time to go into the Q&A portion of the show. Your questions
and our answers.
Our answers.
Our answers.
Our answers.
You say it now, Tyler.
And our answers.
You say it now, Tyler.
And my questions.
Their questions and our answers.
Their answers.
Say it again, Tyler.
Their questions and our answers.
It's your questions and our answers.
Our questions and our answers.
There you go. So first question coming to us from Thomas. Drop it low, son.
Drop it low, son. Drop it low, son.
Drop it low, son. Drop it low, son.
Thomas says, I've just finished the Walking Dead game by Telltale Games. First of all,
Who are you, me? Stuttering all over your fucking words.
Right? I'd strongly recommend
it. What's up, bitch? You can't see. I can't talk, but you can't see.
And Tyler can't hear. So with the three of us, maybe the three of us can get through this show. But he says, first of all, I'd strongly recommend it if you like a game with a great story and character development. My question is this. You three wake up at your houses and see that a zombie apocalypse has occurred. What is your plan for surviving against the undead?
First of all, I played the first episode of the Walking Dead game for iPhone, and it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it, but I have not played the rest.
For free? Did you get it for free?
Yeah, well, there was a promotion where you could download the first episode for free, and that was a while back, though. But I never played the other 4. I just haven't got around to it.
That's cool.
But it was very cool, yes. I will agree.
Okay. So what would you do in the event? Actually, I feel like we've covered this. I think we
did talk
about it on the episode where we kind of just talked.
Was it the fuck off episode?
Yeah.
We lost the show and then we came back and talked a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, we talked about that as far as if we have a zombie apocalypse plan. But yeah, first thing I'd do is probably kill one of my friends who has a zombie bite tattoo on their shoulder blade, just because you never know. So
it's like, it's a tattoo.
It is a dumb tattoo. Yeah. And I've told this person several times, but they went ahead and got it. So they'll be first on my list of people to go.
I'm looking for guns.
Yeah.
First, and
weapons and food.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gathering supplies. Then I'm
finding shelter.
Well, I'm looking for peeps that are nearby that I know and love. Yep. Try to get us all in the same place, and then we go for supplies. Then we look for the best place to hold up, huh?
Yeah, and hope you survive.
I don't have like a real detailed plan. I just
go find a 2-story house with a staircase that you can destroy and get a ladder, and that's how you get up to the second floor, and then you can just pull the ladder up and you can barricade yourself up there.
But what if like a herd of zombies
pile up?
Yeah, pile up on your house and just knock the fucking house over.
Well,
you're fucked.
Yeah, you are. Hopefully, if they're that strong, you can manage to.
Well, they don't have to be that strong. There's a whole herd of them. They're just like walking, pushing up against the house,
just like slowly walking in.
We need a prison. We need a prison.
Oh God.
Oh fuck you. That's a great show.
Actually, I haven't watched enough of it, so.
Yeah, it is a good show though. Yeah, we're gonna. I'm getting all the peoples together.
All the peoples.
All the peeps.
All the times.
Then we're getting guns and we're getting food. And we're going to the jail cell to clean that bitch out.
Okay.
I thought you said we're going to the gym to work out.
Well, we got to get buffed up if we're going to survive this shit.
Go to the jail, which they do have workout equipment.
Step 1, cardio. Cardio. That's all you do.
I thought the first rule was the double.
No, that's
double
tap. That was the second rule.
I thought rule 1 is double tap.
I could have sworn it was whatever. You might be right. I don't know.
To be honest with you, I have no fucking plan.
I haven't watched that movie in a while, so. You're just going to ride the coattails.
Probably.
Hey, where are you guys going?
What the fuck do we do?
Where are we going? Like, what do you mean we?
Okay.
I'm coming with you, right?
Oh, they would throw me under the bus. Okay, we need to get the zombies away from us. So we throw Tyler at them.
Obviously, step 1 is we have to calm Tyler down.
What do we do?
Hey, I'm just like, what's it called? Have you seen the A-Team or whatever?
Nope.
Where the new one where
your BA?
Yeah, where he freaks out when he has to go to plane, so you have to inject him with something like the to knock him the fuck out.
If we inject you, we're leaving you a zombie.
Yeah, they're not.
So you just calm the fuck down and deal with it.
Punch him in his face.
Sorry, bud.
Damn it.
You know.
I knew him well.
Well, you know how it goes. So thank you for the question. By the way, oh no, never mind. Okay.
By the way,
what? Why not? What?
No, nothing. Don't worry.
No, don't worry about it. You'll find out later.
Next question coming to us from Jamie, saying, one question for the podcast crew this week. What are your thoughts on this? So there you go. No, there was a post about a petition to reopen Chris Benoit's murder-suicide case, and there were some interesting
double murder-suicide.
Yes, and there were some interesting notes on what might have led to his death. So apparently, there's a petition to reopen the case and relook at some evidence and stuff like that.
First and foremost, I'm in favor of opening any case if there was evidence that wasn't like investigated thoroughly, or B, there's new evidence that needs to be investigated.
Yeah.
That being said, I looked at the petition, the particular petition that he linked, and it was a bunch of horseshit. It's going with the old like Kevin Sullivan like conspiracy theory that he thought he was involved in killing Nancy, who was his ex-wife, and Benoit and the kid and whatever.
Cell phones that were used.
Yeah, and he was a Satanist, and he told Benoit he would kill him. And I looked at the petition. First of all, if you feel so passionately about it that you're going to put up a petition, but you can't even put your fucking name on it because it said N/A as in not applicable on the petition. So if you're going to put out a petition, nut up and put your fucking name on it, first of all. Second of all, like, I read his little thing for his petition, and the whole thing just reeked of fanboy hero worship bullshit. He was like, I was a big fan of Chris Benoit, and I just knew he couldn't do it. And he's like, I have a YouTube channel, and it has plenty of my reasons if you need to know my reasons. He's like, there's new evidence all the time, and I'm constantly updating it. That was his whole thing. That was his plea on his petition.
YouTube hits.
That was not verbatim.
Click those ads.
But that was the extent of what he said. So I went to this guy's YouTube page. I've read all the Kevin Sullivan conspiracy bullshit before. I went to the YouTube page. He has 2 videos. One has nothing to do with the Benoit. The other one is a tribute to the kid, which, you know, is, I'm not going to say is not admirable. Okay, it's cool that you're sorry that the kid died. I mean, who wouldn't be? Kids are never at fault in situations like this. There's nothing a kid could have possibly done to have been wrong to deserve it. So that's admirable in whatever way. But the video is just like facts about the kid. Like, he liked horses and he loved his mom and dad and they were his whole world, and it has nothing to do, no evidence that you're updating daily based on what your petition quoted. It just reeked of hero worship, fanboy bullshit. And I get, like, people are like, I'm a fanboy, but what you have to understand is, like, people aren't always what you think they are just because they're famous or because you like them.
You just never know.
Yeah, look, there is no real evidence to link Kevin Sullivan. If there was factual evidence, just because they didn't like each other and that he married his ex-wife and he told him one time he was going to kill him and it's known that, or whatever, that's not real evidence. Evidence is like they've got Sullivan's DNA somewhere in the house or something like that, but they don't know if he actually killed him. That's fucking evidence. That's like, go investigate that shit, and then he's probably tied to it then, right? Just look, dude, I've told people I was going to kill them in anger. I straight up, I'm going to kill you is an extremely common phrase, especially when people are mad. I mean, like, that's not evidence. Yeah. That's just people
just
saying
taken out of context.
You have to have actual evidence to be investigated. So I'm not in. If we're basing it on this particular petition's evidence, then no, I'm not in favor of it. It's stupid. There is no evidence. It was just some guy who liked him a lot. He was hero worshiping and doesn't want to accept that Benoit, as far as we know, killed his wife and kid and then killed himself.
Yeah. So unless they produce like some new evidence or probable cause or something like that, you have to stay with what's been said.
And obviously, like, I tend to favor, like, if I was going to believe in something, it's going to be more toward we looked at his brain, it looks like fucking Swiss cheese, or, hey, the guy was bipolar and he had a lot of problems. Like, that stuff I can buy into, right?
Yeah.
Like, I can't. I mean, but unless you've got some real fucking evidence, then no, I don't buy into that.
There you go. But thank you for the question, Jamie. Next question coming to us from Ben, saying, have you guys ever tried getting Colt Cabana on as a guest on the show? That would be epic.
Well, here's the thing about Colt Cabana. Colt Cabana is a really busy guy.
Yes.
Colt Cabana has his own podcast.
Yes.
People do interviews mostly, and the majority of the time people do interviews because they have something to promote. Colt Cabana has a lot of shit to promote, but he has all his own ways of promoting his own stuff. He has his own podcast. He has his own YouTube series. He has all the connections in the world he'll ever need. He doesn't need to do our show.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't need to. I've sent him an email just saying, hey, I understand you're a busy man, but if you've got some free time, we would love to have you on the show. Unfortunately, it didn't get a response, but that's, it's to be expected because there are, literally hundreds of wrestling podcasts out there probably reaching out to him and saying, hey, come on our show, come on our show, come on our show.
He doesn't need to go on anybody's show. Look, Colt Cabana is not going to get anything out of going on anybody's wrestling podcast because he has the #1 with a bullet wrestling podcast.
Yeah.
If you go to iTunes, he's fucking first and foremost, and that's for a fucking reason because he's the most popular and the most listened to. He doesn't need our publicity. We can't do anything for Colt Cabana that he can't do for his goddamn self.
Yeah.
That being said, I love the guy, and I would love to talk to him.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, if you guys want to reach out to him and say, hey, we'd love to hear you on the WNS podcast, by all means, get the word out there. But, what would we have? Like, the only way we could.
What could we ask him that he didn't talk about on his own show all the time?
Like, so how about that podcast you got going on for you? Oh,
he does do interviews, but he does it for things that are outside of the world of wrestling that are building his name outward.
Yeah.
Colt Cabana is more popular and probably makes more money than some of the guys in the WWE. Some of the low end guys, he probably makes more money doing indie work, and he has way more of a cult following. He's in a good position. He said himself, like at this point in time, that he would, he
doesn't need to go to the.
He doesn't need
WWE.
or even necessarily want to go to the WWE.
He's his own boss. He makes his own money.
Yeah,
he doesn't have to share it with anyone.
He doesn't have to follow any rules that he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
So we'd love to have him on.
Yeah,
obviously.
Now that we've stated every case, every case
doesn't need to come onto the show.
We would still love to have you, Colt.
Yeah. So get the word out there. If Colt on WNS or something. I don't know.
Hashtag.
You
got to use the Twitter first.
Mother.
You just shot ourselves in the foot.
I know. Well, I've been trying. I'm going to try and start using it a little more often. It's just I always end up going back to Facebook.
It's either that or we got to start jerking people off. Apparently.
Extravaganza.
For a guy who complains about mandates and
he's quick to jump to some sexual stuff.
Yeah, he's wanting the man-on-man connection. Apparently, so
maybe he just wants to get off.
He wants to share.
Let's specify we're talking about Seth Richardson and not Colt Cabana. We're not talking about Colt
Cabana at all. That was a terrible transition.
Yes, it was.
Colt
we're
Cabana,
talking about
if
Seth
for
Richardson.
any reason at all you are listening to this, we do apologize. We're not referring to you at all. We'd love to have you on the show, but we're not talking about jerking people off and you being one of them. So, anyways, next question coming to us from Victor. Saying, you guys, well, this one isn't really a question. This one's more of a statement to us. Saying, you guys better be keeping up on the DDP yoga. We want our podcast crew to be healthy, as well as wanting to hear DDP in that interview.
Do they really want us to be healthy? Do they really care?
They do.
I think Victor does.
Victor,
he wants Daniel to be
healthy. He is
my
new bud. All right, he is my buddy. So we're cool like that. So we certainly do appreciate that. Tyler and I, we've been rocking the DDP yoga. We've been doing energy for like the last week and a half. It's
I'm a little more flexible than I have been.
Yeah. And
his erections are stronger.
Yes.
He can last longer.
I could do one cock push up.
Okay, so but yes, we are.
Let's prove it. Get the camera. We're gonna YouTube this.
We're gonna tout this. You have 15. You have 15 seconds to prove it to the world. So, but yeah, we have been working on the DDP yoga, and actually,
I haven't done.
Well,
shit.
Doug has not. But we'll work on that. We'll work on getting you in on the DDP yoga. It ain't your mama's yoga.
It ain't.
That's for sure.
When I started, I couldn't do one push-up.
Is that right?
That's right. Damn right it is.
Right.
Damn right.
that shit.
But as far as the DDP interview,
Like I can do a push-up. That was an inside joke. If you've seen the
if
thing.
you've done DDP yoga, go into the Diamond
You can
Dozen.
at least do one.
You can
Goddamn
catch that reference. But as far as DDP, he will be on the show next week. We're gonna
Allegedly.
yeah, allegedly he's on the schedule. We have his number, so we'll be giving him a call next week and hopefully having a great interview with him. And who knows, maybe if we're lucky enough, he'll be at home and Scott Hall and Jake the Snake
In the
Roberts
accountability house.
Yes, and maybe they'll want to say hello. So, by the way, if you contributed to the Scott Hall hip replacement,
It's still open, then.
it is. They reached their goal of $80,000.
Are they going to a stretch goal?
Not necessarily, but I mean it's just continuing.
Did you see that video?
They're up to like
with him
86,000 now.
Doing the yoga and all that stuff, and his hip popped.
Yeah, that was tough. But I'm glad that it's going to help. I contributed. I don't know if you guys did, but I did. I got the Got Razors back package. So I'm going to get a T-shirt, autograph, picture, and a personal phone call.
Good on you.
Yeah. So
Recorded on the deal.
I'm like, oh, let me give you this other number to call real quick. Let's just chat for a few minutes, huh? But yeah. So who knows? We'll have DDP on the show next week, and if we're lucky, if those guys happen to be around, maybe we'll get them to say hello or something too.
That's on Indiegogo. It's not a Kickstarter. If you're, I think.
Yeah, we posted the link on our Facebook page, WNS Podcast. So you might have to scroll down a little bit.
Are y'all trying to
but it is
brag
there.
about what you're supporting on Indiegogo?
No.
Yes, you are.
Okay. I was just saying.
Asshole.
Well,
Well, I helped fund Nigel McGuinness's
you did
documentary.
and congratulations to that. You did,
Let's
you did a
shake on
great
it.
job on it. Good job.
Oh.
Oh, cold blooded.
I didn't even pull away. You just couldn't see. You have no depth perception.
So it didn't go through your hair at a higher angle in which your hand was
No.
extended? Oh, okay.
Let's do this last question.
Okay, so final question coming to us from Red Robin.
Yum.
Saying, now that Ryback is no longer involved with the Shield match at Mania, I'm wondering, do you still think that the Shield will lose? I personally don't see why they should lose now. It won't be Ryback who'd be beating them and getting his revenge, if that makes sense. Anyways, have a good show, and I look forward to hearing your response.
Oh, thanks, Red Robin. You have a good day. No,
That's not an answer.
okay. I'm
Thanks,
Tyler
Red Robin. We'll catch y'all next
And
week.
submit your questions. Head on over to our Facebook page, WNS Podcast, YouTube, WNS Video.
We're in that end of the show mode where it's like totally breaking down, and we're just trying to hang on.
Everything
is lost.
breaking down.
Break the walls down. So,
I would like to see them win, but I have a feeling that like
super best friends forever.
the Shield will get there is at WrestleMania. I think it'll be awesome and look strong and like have a win.
Yeah,
Mania.
obviously. What about you, Doug?
Well, there's still heels that have been running rampant over the company, the roster, I guess, and they've got to get their comeuppance sooner or later. They haven't lost a match. So
Yeah.
I
Like
still look for
3
them.
for 3 now.
Still look for them to lose.
Yeah.
Will it mean as much if Ryback's not in the match? Well, yeah, I'll tend to agree with you there, but I still think they eat the pin there.
There you go. So we'll have to see how it all plays out. You okay?
Take it home.
Okay, so thank you for the questions. Submit your questions. Head on over to our YouTube page, WNS Video. Don't forget to click those links. Help us out a little bit.
Click.
Check us out on Facebook, WNS Podcast. You can also find us on WrestlingNewsSource.com, WrestlingNewsSource.com on Facebook, and Wrestling News Source Podcast on iTunes.
And
Don't
give us
forget
a
to subscribe
review.
to you. And yeah, 5 stars.
5-star.
5 stars if you like the show. And if you didn't like it,
Then why are
4
you
stars.
listening to
4
hear this?
stars.
No.
5 stars.
5 stars or don't give us a review.
5
Yeah.
stars.
5 stars.
5 stars are bust.
Pee in her butt.
If you want to follow us on,
I can get behind that.
if you want to follow
Kinda have
us
to,
on
wouldn't you?
Twitter, I can't do this. If you want to follow us
One
on
week
Twitter,
and you don't know the Twitter? Come on.
I know you keep on interrupting me. If you want to follow us on Twitter, is at WNS Podcast.
Get your hands
for
off
the
your
main
mouth.
site, WN Source.
We're on tout at WNS Podcast as well.
Tout at the devil.
And coast to coast, butter and toast. We're out of here.
Okay. For the podcast crew, I am Dana O'Hara.
Tyler Bear.
I'm Doug.
And we will catch you all
Pee in her
next
butt.
week. Pee in her butt.
Bye.